Corporate America and the job market is broken. Too many people stay stuck in bad jobs, but I don't want that to happen to you. Right now, someone you know, maybe even you, is sitting on their couch on a Sunday night, stomach all messed up with butterflies, already dreading work tomorrow. And you know this, they're not alone. LinkedIn found that 75% of working Americans feel this way every single week. That means if you have 4 friends sitting in a room, 3 of them are spending their weekend anxious about Monday. So today we're talking about the question most people are too scared to ask out loud: should I quit, and when is actually the right time to do it? I want to talk about what it actually looks like to make this decision right now in 2026, when the job market is one of the weirdest it's ever been. So first, let me tell you my own quitting story. I know it might not look like it, but I don't think I'm the riskiest guy. I know you might see my work app content and my other stuff, but I have never quit a job without something else lined up. Every single time, when it was consulting to headhunting or headhunting to HR or something else, I always had an offer in hand before making my exit plan. But what I've seen for me and a lot of clients is sometimes the biggest payoff comes when you do have to take a leap. So even for me, when I left my HR role to go all in on Work App, I had about $10,000 in savings, and I gave myself a runway of 6 months. If I didn't make any money, can I survive for the next few months? Because I knew that if it didn't work out, I could always go back. I could always get another corporate job. But that was enough cushion for me to make that jump. So we're going to talk a lot about quitting and should you go, should you stay, should you leave. But I think some questions you got to ask yourself is, what is your runway? What is your overall long-term plan? What is your financial situation? Because those questions are going to be very important to you, my friend. Quitting can mean taking a break. It can mean jumping to a better role. It can mean you leaving a toxic situation or a bad boss. The what doesn't matter as much as learning how to make the decision clearly, without panic, without guilt, and without a plan. Quitting in 2026, it's a different conversation than it was 2 years ago, 5 years ago, 10 years ago. The market has changed, the math has changed, and a lot of people are making decisions without looking at their own data and looking at the market data. So let's look at what's actually going on right now. So first, on burnout. According to LinkedIn, 60% of workers say the biggest trigger is worrying about their workload, and 39% are anxious about tasks that they didn't finish the week before. Another survey of over 2,000 people found that 68% said they were at least somewhat happy at their job, and yet 70% of those same people still experience the Sunday Scaries. This isn't just people who hate where they work and they just want to leave. This is people who are stretched too thin and running on fumes, even when things are mostly fine. So I just want you to know, my friend, it's not just you, and the grass doesn't always look greener on the other side. Yes, if you're in a toxic place, please do leave. But if you're feeling some pressure, if you're feeling some Sunday Scaries, there is some normalness to that. Here's the facts. The quit rate in February 2026 dropped to less than 2%. This is the lowest we've seen in years. And you might think, great, then that means people are happy at work, right? I wish it was happening, but the reality is people are scared. Since the beginning of this year, over 1,600 companies have announced mass layoffs. You already heard about Oracle just recently, Amazon, Meta. They're all cutting corporate roles. And it's not like just back office, HR, finance. It's tech, it's operations, it's program management. Right now, with all this talk, all this murmur, no one wants to be the person who voluntarily walks out of a good thing. If less people are quitting, that means less openings. So I'm not telling you this because I'm trying to scare you, but I just want you to know the facts. And next, on job hopping, for years, the advice, if you want a big fat raise, you change jobs, right? And at the peak of the Great Resignation in 2022, people who are switching jobs were seeing a 9% wage growth compared to people who just stuck around. But that gap has been closing ever since. By early 2026, the wage growth tracker showed only a 0.5% increase from people who leave versus people who stayed. So obviously a much slimmer margin. With that, people aren't moving as freely because they don't feel like they have as much leverage, and they're right. It's an employer's market through and through right now. So what does this mean practically for you? It means quitting for a slightly better salary alone is just not as strong of a case that it used to be. I think if you're going for another role and it's just marginally higher, the smarter question isn't, will I make more money here? It's more about, is this the right move for me? Will I grow faster, learn more, gain something that I can't in my current role? Those are the questions that I want you to start thinking about, and not just the money alone.